A 25-year-old woman from Florida who was divorced with 2 kids met a man at McDonald's where she was the manager. They dated for 2 months before she moved herself and her 2 kids into this man's home. She ended up moving with this man very fast because 1, she really liked them, and number 2, she wasn't getting along with her parents after she got a divorce. She didn't like living with them. 1 week after she moved with this man, she met at her job at McDonald's that she had only known for 2 months. She disappeared. Her and her kids disappeared. She was a no-show at work. Her phone went straight to voicemail. No one can get in contact with her. Her entire family and law enforcement was looking for her. She was nowhere to be found. Her parents never gave up in finding her daughter and their grandkids. But 6 years later, they got the shock of their life. Law enforcement contact their parents out the blue on a Thursday out of nowhere to let them know they think they found her daughter and their 2 grandkids. They was buried behind an abandoned house in the country. When they dug up their grave, they was nothing but skeletons. When the father found out they was buried for 6 years and they was nothing but skeletons, he passed out. Let me explain. No one never knew who this woman was dating that was working at McDonald's because she kept her dating life private. She would never talk to anyone about her dating life. And the fact that she kept her dating life private, that was one reason her and her parents didn't get along. She would let her parents watch the kids while she go out with random men. The parents never knew who she was going out with, and they didn't like it one bit. Also, when this woman divorced her husband, which was the father of her kids, they wasn't talking anymore since they got a divorce. The father haven't seen his kids in over 6 months. But law enforcement got a huge break in the case when 2 men got locked up for taking the life of a stripper. They tortured her, they raped her, and beat her to death. When both of them men got locked up for taking this stripper life, one man wouldn't talk to law enforcement, and the other man was willing to talk to law enforcement. He told law enforcement he know where some bodies at in the country. He would tell them if they can cut him a deal. Law enforcement told him if he can take them to the body and show them exactly where the body at and tell them who is involved, they said they'll try and cut him a good deal or get him a reduced prison sentence. The man agreed and took law enforcement to the bodies. They dug up the bodies, and that's where they found 3 skeletons, a woman and 2 daughters. When they dug up the skeletons, one of the cops threw up. The man that met this woman in McDonald's and took her life and her 2 little girls' life was named Black. He sold narcotics. He was gunned down 2 years ago. The man that was with him, that was cutting the deal with law enforcement, that showed them where the bodies was, he was a junkie. Black paid him to help them hide their bodies and dig their grave. The man that helped Black dig their grave said Black paid him $100. And he used $100 to get his fix. So this man ended up getting a break on this prison sentence because not only he showed them where the bodies was, the man he was helping that he was recently locked up for trying to get rid of a stripper body, he told them everything that happened. When the family found the bodies of their daughters and their grandkids, they was heartbroken all over again, but it brought them a little closure. People, be very careful who you date. The devil walk around in plain daylight looking like you and me.